continuing here. So yeah, you know, I said ladies, the overweight, but there's a lot of men too, very unhealthy. You see them at the supermarket, overweight, and it's very unhealthy. You want to have a tight body, and you can do that very easily. Okay, because I probably eat just as much as any of those guys that are overweight. But the difference is I let myself get hungry sometimes, and I let the cells rejuvenate. This is a very healthy thing. This is why I say, look, it's promised in Scripture that we're to live 120 years, and I'm taking God up on that. Okay, and I suggest everybody do too. It's, as long as you're enjoying your life and you're not in pain. And I've got a good life. I've had a good life, and I'm having a really good life right now. I'm surrounded by good, loving people, great family, people that care about each other, do anything for you. I mean, I know of a church that people give this shirt off their back. I'm having a really good life. But there's one big thing missing. I'm alone. I'm single. I spend a lot of time lonely, and I hate it. I'm totally dissatisfied being a single man. I hate it, and I want a wife, man. That's what I want. I want my better half, and until I have that, I'm not going to be satisfied. But not to digress. But to stay on this topic, you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of clean water. And this fluoridated crap out of your tap, no, don't drink that crap, man. Okay, there's plenty of filtered waters available cheaply, so drink plenty of water. Even cold months and days when you don't feel like drinking, you've got to keep it close by and remind yourself. You've got to stay hydrated. It's very unhealthy and I've done it before. I've let myself get dehydrated. Very unhealthy. Bring a lot of health problems, to kidney issues, all sorts of problems, man. But that I got on that high fructose corn. I was drinking a lot of soda pop, man. I ended up with big toe gout. Thank God that's finally, after 10 years, it's getting better. I mean, it's like, wow, man. It takes a long time to get some of those toxins out of your system that are derived from supposedly food stuff. But this high fructose corn syrup with the mercury and all this crap, man, this is toxic. And this is what they say, diabetes is going to be half the population pretty soon is going to have diabetes of one form. Do you know what the insulin drugs are? You see the interest that a lot of companies have, not to be too cynical, but if you're sick and you got to buy medications, prescription drugs, and all this crap, there's a lot of money involved there. So there's a lot of people that are interested in making sure you're stupid, ignorant, and you're eating unhealthy junk food. Okay, I'm just saying, it's not hard to eat a clean diet and yummy diet. Okay, I mean, here's an example. I go to the store. This is staples I have. Oranges have been seasonal. I've been eating oranges, tons of them for months. I mean, hey, you can have a few oranges for lunch, right? Okay, that's going to fill up your tummy. That's healthy. Nothing wrong with slicing up an orange. What could be better than that? You cut off the ends of it, and then you slice it in half, and then you slice each half in 4 segments. I mean, that's delicious, okay? You go well, let yourself get hungry. You want a sandwich? I mean, okay, sourdough bread, even though I know that's not even good food. It's not whole grain. Some extra sharp cheddar cheese. It's high protein, right? So it's a good source of protein. It's very important to get adequate protein. I took health science in college, and the figure stuck in my head. It's somewhere around 50 grams of protein a man needs on average. And I know that if I'm not getting that much, I don't feel like I'm getting enough. So it's somewhere around that. So you want to make sure you get adequate protein. But, you put a little avocados. Avocados have been in season lately. Great time. It's kind of a winter fruit. I guess it's winding up, but you can usually get them year-round. They're grown in other countries. And I do use mayonnaise liberally. I like the best foods mayonnaise. I love to use salt and pepper. You can eat as much salt, according to Dr. Joel Wallach, unless it tastes bad, because if you put too much salt on something, it tastes bad, and you don't eat it. But you use as much iodized salt as you want. And it's the sugary, white floury crap. I mean, the cookies and the pastries. This stuff is really, really bad for your body. Okay? It's damaging to your system, your blood, your organs, and everything. To your machine, which is your body. So I know as good as it tastes. I mean, and I do like some sugary stuff. I mean, I'll admit, I've been a lot worse in the past. I've gotten a bit better. But, I still got a few dark chocolate chips, and And so I don't get on my own case too much for a little bit of sugary junk food. And chocolate does have some health benefits. I guess it's some kind of a antioxidant. But another thing, eggs are a staple. You've got to always have eggs. Okay, I've been getting these jumbo eggs. I mean, the last carton of eggs I got, almost every one of them had double yolks. They were so big. And I've been eating 3 of those things. I mean, that's healthy. Scramble it up, and I make some killer scrambled eggs. Yeah, but butter, use plenty of butter. It's very healthy fat. Our brains consist of a lot of cholesterol and fats and crap. So by eating, scrambled eggs cooked in butter, and I use a cast iron skillet. I like to put it on high, and you stand over them and make sure you stir them. I mean, that's the whole idea. You learn how. I mean, you spend enough time cooking scrambled eggs like I have, you learn how. You lift it where you can see it starting to warm up and cook the eggs a little, and you lift it, let the wet scrambled eggs under there, and at a point, you're stirring the whole pot of yummy scrambled eggs. You don't want to overcook them. I don't like them undercooked, but right in between. The happy medium, nothing wet left, but nothing overcooked. So it's delicious. Perfect plate of tender, yummy scrambled eggs. Okay, goes down easy. I get this rice from Trader Joe's. They sell this frozen rice in bags. Cooks in just a few minutes. I take half a bag, put it in the skillet. I'll have that cooked up first before the eggs. And that makes a good meal. Vegetable fried rice. I mean, that's yummy. I'll cook that in some olive oil, and then just smother that in butter and salt and pepper. I mean, that's delicious with the scrambled eggs next to it. Man, that's a great meal. So a bachelor, doesn't eat any better than that. And then sometimes I love sardines, but I don't like the ones with the skin and bones. I like the skinless, boneless ones in olive oil. It's a world of difference to me. And I'll flake those up on a plate, put a little mayonnaise there to dip the sardines in, a little salt and pepper, and some cayenne pepper, a medicinal food. So you cover it with cayenne pepper. It has an alkalizing effect in your body, which is good to keep your pH right, to keep it regulated, let it adjust itself. And then I'll maybe do some broccoli. I'll steam up a head of broccoli, and if I'm lucky, if I remember, I've been watching my health better. See, this is another perk from falling in love. I want to do everything better in my life. And then I'll use I like Betty Crocker's, these powdered potatoes. So I'll make some mashed potatoes and smother those in butter. I mean, gosh, mashed potatoes take a lot of butter. So here I can literally eat about a cube of butter in a sitting. Not quite, but pretty close. And I am certainly not overweight. So you can eat as much natural, healthy fat as you want, as much healthy, good protein as you want. You're not going to get overweight. Okay? So what else? For protein, I mean, peanut butter. I can make an entree out of peanut butter and celery. I don't do that often, but a sandwich is delicious with just butter. Believe it or not, this was a friend of mine years ago. I used to like peanut butter and honey sandwiches, but my friend Eric, he said, "Oh, you know what I like? I just put butter on the bread and then peanut butter." Wow, that sounds, I don't know, I'm not sure. But then I tried it. I thought, wow, that's delicious. So you can actually put butter on bread. Try that. Don't overdo it. And then peanut butter on top. And it's delicious. Absolutely scrumptious. So, this to me is eating healthy, believe it or not. And what else? I mean, I do use cream in my coffee, so I get half and half. But I've been known to get off that too. I mean, that's not healthy. It's cream, but, just fat. It's kind of just empty calories, right? There's no protein even in it. But I'm just trying to think, go walk down the grocery aisles with you and tell you what I mean, I've got a pretty simple diet. I do keep buckwheat pancakes, and on occasion, I feel in the mood, hey, make some pancakes and, pure maple syrup. Of course, got butter on that too. That's yummy. It's making me hungry, actually. But I don't have maybe a particularly interesting diet, but I have a fairly healthy diet. And, I'm trying to think of everything. I did have some beans last night. Beans can be very healthy. You gotta, watch the gas. Gas is always an issue with, wrong food combining. But, and I had some tortilla chips with salsa. And you get the perfect protein when you get the grain and the legumes together. Anytime you mix grain and beans, when peanuts are beans too, so you can have, grain and, a peanut butter sandwich, for example. You're getting a perfect protein with all 8 essential amino acids. So I know a lot about nutrition. It doesn't mean I always adhere to what I know. But all I know is there's, healthy vegetables. I mean, you put lettuce on your sandwich, right? That's good. A little cabbage, and just buy a bag of salad for $1, right? And it's got the cabbage in there and the lettuce, and it's got carrots in there. And so it's not that hard to eat right. And I eat potato chips. So with that sandwich, I'm having, as many potato chips as I want to eat. And I tell you, I can't gain weight. You probably couldn't even pay me to gain weight. But I know one thing is true. When I was married, I weighed about 10 or 15 pounds more. That's something about the peace that the woman brought into my life. This is something I noticed right away with my first love. I mean, is that I, felt peaceful and less uptight and felt whole. And I was able to gain 10 or 15 pounds, which, I would love to be able to do again. Something about it, just something about the peace that the female brought me. I was able to gain weight. So, I'm not saying that I think being skinny is good. I would love to, gain 10 or 15 pounds. My frame could support it just fine. But I know what I've got a tight body. I'm very strong for my size. And I plan on living the 120 years. I'm shooting for that. And a lot of it's mind over matter and getting yourself psyched out. So ladies, listen, you want to look good. I have never seen a lady that was healthy, that was truly healthy, that didn't look good. Because your figure is going to be good when you're healthy. Your skin is going to be good. You're going to look good. Let me tell you, I don't care how ugly you think you are. You're not. When you're healthy, you're pretty. You're beautiful. You're that's it. You're attractive. Okay? And you're going to be fine. But that's all you have to do. And it's not hard to get there. And God's behind it. Just really thinking of your body as a machine. And, thinking about nature. And, even the Bible talks about what did God give us to eat? Every herb-bearing seed on the face of the earth. Understanding medicinal foods. There's certain foods that are super healthy. Oil of oregano. I mean, these things can help with you get a candida buildup. Too much sugary crap in your guts. And you end up with diarrhea and loose stools. Try doing a regimen of oil of oregano. Try it. Can't hurt you. Very powerful stuff. And I mentioned the cayenne. I mean, you squeeze a fresh lemon into a big glass of water, and drink that every morning, you're going to start losing weight. You're going to look healthy. Make sure you're getting plenty of B complex. Okay, too. This is a very important vitamin, the B complex. Very important to your weight. Look into it. I had acne as a teenager. I was going to end up with craters on my face, on my back, and my chest. Okay, and look at it now. Look. My dad told me about brewer's yeast, filled with B complex vitamins. In 2 weeks, I went from craters up and down my face, on my chest, on my back when I was 17, to being clear skinned. No girls would look at me barely. That was going to be my life. And then after that, I had to beat them off with sticks practically. I mean, I was surfing and I had this bronze skin and this bleached blonde hair, and good God, man, it was every girl in town wanted a piece of me. I could have kissed the ground my dad walked on for that advice. And it's dirt cheap. I mean, you put a tablespoon or two of this brewer's yeast, nutritional yeast, in a glass of water. Warm water I used to use right out of the tap, and just stir it up and gag it down because it tastes awful. But hey, look what it did. It was a small miracle. I'm not even a small. For me as a teenager with acne all over, it was a big miracle. It was a life-changing event. You can imagine. Oh, and one tip on your scrambled eggs. For every egg, add about a teaspoon of water. What it does, I learned this as a professional cook. It makes the eggs fluffier. So when you're whisking them, or I use a heavy fork, and when you whip them, it'll make them lighter and taste better. So anyhow, I'm going to move on to some more talking points and stuff. And because I got onto this subject with the tobacco thing, but Look at chemotherapy. I wouldn't recommend that, but that's what state of the art medical. Oh yeah, this is it, man. They're taking people's kids away because they get the kid off chemo. I just saw that on the news recently. But all drugs have a degree of toxicity. I mentioned that I think the only thing that keeps America still livable is the First and Second Amendment. Well, I mean that. And you know what? As far as guns go, I don't even like guns. Okay, they're loud. You got explosions going off next to your head. They're dangerous. We all know kids play with them and kill themselves, and we all know about the mass shootings and all this crap. But listen, folks, if you look into it, you'll understand why people that support the Second Amendment on both sides of the aisle, liberals and conservatives, they get it. They get it. You want the people to have that power.